Okay, it's time to do the Friday on February 27th. This one is a debut by Caroline Hand. I'm excited to see how this turns out. Ooh, okay, very nice. We have some triple stacks on top and bottom. Very rare to see these. Like a lot of very impressive feats with this puzzle already. Let's just start with this. Coinage of the early 2000s. Coinage could be a phrase. Maybe coinage with a question mark is going for a certain kind of coin. Um, Perhaps there was some kind of silver dollar or some kind of new coin that was added in the early 2000s. I'm not sure. Travel safety group at school. Travel safety group at school. What could be a travel safety? I don't know. Arabic male name meaning prince could be Amir, because Emir with an E is specifically for princes, but Amir is spelled like this is more of a name. Email folder could be sent, starred, unread, maybe. Um, this looks like this is an S because a WNBA team likely has an S at the end, although that might not be true. Let's see what else there is that I could get. Remove from office to dis something. You can hear her, you can find her in this clue hidden. You can find her in this clue. Erin, maybe. Erin is hidden in this clue. You can find her in this clue hidden. Aaron could be right. Rita on The Masked Singer is Rita Ora, British singer. Traditional folk dance. Folk dance. There are a few folk dances you might have. You might haka, hora. Um, Nothing with an E though. Modern streaming devices of Roku. What is this? Remove from office to unseat someone from office. That's right. Kindest regards. Letter sign off. Traditional folk dance is reel, an Irish reel. Okay, delivery methods are cesareans. Cesarean spelled like this, I think. Cesarean section, C sections. Cesarean also a method of delivery. Email folders. Email folder might have drafts. That's right, drafts. Slick say could be something full. RU something rut row could be a cry from the Astro. I think there's a dog. Ruro seems like something possibly. It's like the only way you would clue this word also, and I think I've seen it before. Jerk could be an ass. Bird that Zeus disguised himself in. I don't know. Suit material could be. Um, I thought a suit material would be like aces. Suit. Oh, suit could be maybe a lawsuit of some kind. A something. I don't know. It could jerk could also be maybe no. An ass is more of a jerk. Oaf is more of an idiot. Not exactly the same thing. Like Snoop Dogg Faithwise, when he changed his name to Snoop Lion, is Rasta. Did he change his name to Snoop Lion? I haven't heard of that. I'll take a look at this. Mazar makes me think it's Demi, but there are a few. Demi is a somewhat common name, but I might change this if it's not right. To prepare, as in coq au vin, some kind of chicken with wine, French thing with an S. I don't know what else is. Flatbread choices. There are a lot of four-letter flatbreads. So what could this be? It could be roti with an I. It isn't easy. Makes me think. This phrase, it isn't easy. Then what is this? Hitches. Might be asks for a ride. Hitches. Weds. To get hitched is to get married. It ain't easy, maybe. With an S. Carton amounts might have gallons. It might have quarts, with a brightness measurement of a sort. What kind of IQ test? IQ score of some kind. Perhaps it's IQ. It could be a lot of other things to be honest. Concerning could be as to. Cul-de-sac and kung pao chicken. Something the Great, King of Ancient Persia. I might know this name, but I can't think of it right away. Magna Carta. Right away is stat. It would have been either stat or ASAP in any case. Neighborhood, Astoria, where Zoran Mamdani lived in Astoria. It's a pretty wealthy neighborhood, I think. Astoria, to blow air on. To blow air on, I don't know. Look at something else. Source of something. I remember seeing this name of Little Women. Hawaiian for mountain is okay. I know this one is because there are two famous mountains, Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa. In puzzles, you might see Loa and Kea with this word as fill in the blank, but this definitely looks like mountain. Because Mauna Lea and Mauna Kea are the two volcanoes there. So steps in diagnosing ACL injuries. Steps. Um, M MRIs. That's right. MRIs might be some steps. Source, I don't know that. Carriage in Coventry. Right. Okay, so this means suggesting it's a carriage. The word that you would say if it was British. So pram is a British word for like a baby stroller. To create a distraction, so to speak. To run circles around, I think. Is that right? Run circles around. It could possibly be, but uh, might not be. Maybe it's Ronin? Is it Ronin for this? Anastasia something. Heroine in the 50 Shades of Grey book. Anastasia something. I'm gonna go with that. Manhattan, Midwest City dubbed the Little Apple. So Midwest City, the Little Apple. So I think the pun is that Big Apple is New York, and so maybe this is a city called Manhattan in some other state, possibly Kansas. It's not Midwest, is it? I suppose Kansas could be considered Midwest. Let's see if this is right. S here, and there is an S here as well. Okay, I believe it is Kansas then. Manhattan, Kansas is known as Little Apple, which is a fun. It's a clever find, I think, that with this clue. It's very cute. What is this? Brazes, perhaps. And I don't know what Debbie is, but maybe Debbie is. Well, this definitely could be a name. It's an unusual spelling of the name Debbie, which is definitely a name, but Debi is something I've never seen. This looks like Dear Santa, start of a child's letter. That's right. And run. What is this? Stand off conclusion. Stand off ish. The conclusion question mark just kind of is a wordplay indicator where you're trying to find a suffix for the word standoff. Right, so run interference to create a distraction is to run interference. And this says to blow air on is to fan. Nice. Secretary could be a kind of desk. And I say that because this looks like it's an ST, which is a common way to start words. Let's start with that. Serving peace. Serving peace. Could be a few things. Like serving has a few meanings, slightly different meanings. Maybe it's a ball. Maybe it's a lawsuit. You get served papers. Maybe it's serving as in food, a portion size. Let's see what else there is. Where Jackie Robinson played 4 college sports. I didn't know that, but it looks like it's UCLA. That's impressive. Accompanies 2. Doll. What is this? Doll. Can't think of what that is. Is it UCLA? It could be. Something blank A probably is, but I can't think of it. Carrier of the Golden Fleece. Was this the Golden Fleece? Is that mythological? I thought that was are the Argonauts? The carrier. Yeah, the Argo was the ship. So perhaps the Golden Fleece. It's not talking about the person, but the ship that's carrying the Golden Fleece. That could be right. Picks up. Picks up. Gets. Car requirements beginning in 1998. Airbag. Okay, airbag, and perhaps this is gets. What is this? Raw in a way is tartare. You might have steak tartare, which is essentially just raw beef. Bass lines might be funk music features. Might have very funky things for bass lines. And this looks like Darius. Probably sounds like an old name of sorts. I'm gonna go with that. A serving piece. Tureen. I think it is tureen. And I don't know what it means, but it looks like a word. So let me go with that. Accompanies might be okay. Well, this probably is sees. If you see someone to an event or you see someone upstairs, you might accompany them upstairs, so and so. Let's go with that. A little blemish. Blemish. Dirt? Just like a little bit of dirt. That doesn't seem right. What else is there that I can go off of? Second most common surname in Korea after Kim. Looks like it's Lee. Um, could be So, like that. But I'm gonna go with this. Sri Lanka, perhaps, and world traveler. What could a world traveler? What could that be? And I still haven't figured out what this suit material is either. Let's take a look at this. To challenge might be to dare someone. So I don't think this is ass. Suit material. Uh, a suit material. What could suit material be? With an RT. I would have thought a suit material would have been card, but that doesn't seem to work. Kindest cart. No, that's not right. What about this? Travel safety group at school. I think it was mad, or I think it was sad. Um, Sacagawea dollar. Okay, it was coinage of the early 2000s. So about this, I don't remember what this stands for, but I think there was a separate thing, another acronym that was MAD, MADD. I think that might have been like a World War II government program or something in the US. In any case, I know SAD. Now that I think about it, SAD definitely is some school safety organization, but I didn't know exactly what it was that they did. Um, I feel like this might have been instituted like sometime after 9/11, like travel safety group. I'm not sure what the scope of SAD is, but knowing this letter S got me Sacagawea dollar, which is some kind of coin. It's a kind of coinage that I assume was introduced in the early 2000s. And I noticed because they had a lot of coins like this, um, like around the house. And I remember for my birthday once, I just got like a bunch of dollar coins, and I was really happy because I thought they were just like so rare, and it made me so happy to get these gold colored dollars. They were not real gold, of course, but maybe they were gilded as such. I don't know. Sierra Nevada product could be American something. Taylor Sacagawea, perhaps it's spelled like that. Then girth could be a measurement. Slick, say, uh, artful maybe. Three-time NBA champ, WNBA champs, the Aces. Yes, they are a WNBA team. I don't know where they're based in, but I'm gonna go with that. Happened was distressed denim. Nice. These are some nice long answers, especially these ones. Like Manhattan, Kansas, is not something else that I would have ever considered. Like it's obviously, I mean, I would imagine it's probably never showed up before, but it's such a cute clue. I just really like this. The fact that it's called the Little Apple. It's just a nice touch, and it suggests actually quite a lot about the clue itself. It gives a lot of hints while not necessarily spoiling it or being necessarily just a definition. It's nice. Adjoining could be ensuite. I think of like you have like ensuite bathroom or something if you're living in college, or like an ensuite washer. Things that are, well, adjoining as in like perhaps you have rooms. Your entire thing is ensuite. Bear up is Ursa, which is one of those constellations. A group of constellations. I think you have Ursa Major, Ursa Minor. Bear meaning like Ursa is sort of the root for bear, because it's a bear constellation, and up, of course, meaning like up in the sky. That's what it means. Illuminating point. Illuminating point. I don't know. Soda brand. Dads? Was it Dads? Duds? Dodds? I can't think of anything else. Oh my goodness, what is this? Antediluvian. Well, I don't know what this means on its own. I haven't seen clues like this where it's just a random word you've never seen, but this looks like this is, at least with the letters I'm given, it looks like it's old as dirt. So I'm going to go with old as dirt, and I think this word is rotunda. A pantheon feature. The rotunda is the centered, like the main chamber, which is like round with a domed top. So pantheon featured has a rotunda, that's right. Suit material. Okay, so it was not card like I was thinking. For a lawsuit, the material, like the grounds of the suit might be tort, some kind of civil wrongdoing. And what is this? Aperçu, perhaps? I don't know what it means. Until now, which is an illuminating point. Maybe I don't know if that's the exact definition, but it's somewhat of a description. I don't know what the precise meaning of aperçu is, but okay, jerk could be tick. So I was thinking along the wrong lines of jerk meaning ass, but this is more like a physical jerk. An involuntary movement is a tick. Bird that Zeus disguised himself as a probably swan. So this is a blemish, could be a wart. Yeah, when you say warts and all, you mean as is with all the blemishes. World traveler. World traveler. I would think this was avian or avion, French meaning. Is this a brand name? I can't think of what other thing this would be, but what could this be? A Sierra Nevada product. American American Paul. Uh, okay, well this is definitely Lee then. It was not so. Big name in cognac, and what is this? Most important part. Uh, Most important part is the key. All right. World traveler. A traveler could be an alien. That's what it was. It's not avion. I was just thinking of flying, but world traveler. Yeah, alien could be right. And this was like Remy, because American Pale Ale. Awesome. I think it's also worth mentioning that for something for a clue. Sorry, for a puzzle with such long answers going across. You would typically see those on Saturdays just because the you need a larger vocabulary to fit things in, to make it fill properly. So, in my opinion, the easier puzzles are actually quite hard to make, and Friday is meant to be the easier of two themeless puzzles of the week. I think Fridays, like you need to have to make such a large grid as Caroline has done here. You would need a lot of trial and error, with finding words, like keeping yourself to a restricted vocabulary, making sure that the words that you use are not so difficult. Um, a certainly very difficult thing to do. And I think that Caroline did this really well today. We can see that these long answers are definitely meant to be the highlight of this puzzle. And you have a few long words that go down just to kind of bring everything together, to add some kind of continuity to add some flow to the puzzle. But we can see, of course, that the main highlights were all of these, and these did not disappoint. I would say, especially with this, on the at the very top, it's nice to have a question mark clue on the top. I think some blogger online, like Crossword blog, wrote it like you imagine the puzzle as a sort of as like a dish, and you want to have a good start and you want to have a good ending. And I think this was a good start. You had a nice clue that, I don't think people would have necessarily gotten in the very beginning. Um, it took me a while before I could really parse this together and get the right answer. So it was a very strong start, and it was a good ending. It was a strong ending as well, because I don't know about you, but personally, I am a big fan of this clue. This clue is just very cute. I've said that multiple times, but I just feel like it's as far as clues go, it's one of the most entertaining kind of clues you can have, where you have these almost little riddles that are hidden, and you can just piece together little bits. It's sort of it's a little cheeky reference to the Big Apple, um, and makes you think, well, okay, Manhattan, something something else. Maybe it's just a different city named Manhattan. There are loads of, like, there's like London in Canada or something like that. There's a Paris in Kentucky or something like that. There are just these major city names that show up in these random U.S. states, and it's just a nice reference, um, to be called the Little Apple. And I think that this was probably the best clue that could have been written for this answer. So, like I said, it's a strong start and it's a strong finish. And I think, if there's anything that you want the solver to remember after they solve the puzzle and after they've moved on to the next days, I think that you want to have them remember these most important long answers. Those are the highlights of themeless puzzles. And not only did it stand out to the publishers, but it stood out to me also. So I will definitely remember this. I'll also remember this next time I go to Kansas. I don't think I'll ever go to Kansas, but yeah, if it happens, then I'll check this out. And that's it.